Good morning, Craig. I hope you're doing well. It's been 3 weeks since I sent you my last swing review, and I wanted to get back to you with an update of how I'm doing. And I would do it in an email, but I think it would take way too long. And I should mention, this is about my 6th or 7th take on trying to do this, and every time I mess it up. So I'm just going to try and be myself and let it come out as it will. I guess you have a real skill of doing your swing reviews, and I don't know how many takes on the movie set cut that you have to do like I've been doing, but anyway. The first thing I want to talk about was this GolfTec, and I really want to thank you for your understanding why I did make that decision. I think you know that I'm 100% in agreement with everything that you say. I want you to be my primary, if you will, or golf coach forever. Even if you were to leave RST, I would hope that you would give me an option of sending YouTube videos back or forth. I think you know that I'm not the biggest fan of Chuck Quinton and how he runs his business, certainly how he treats his employees, but I do, from a technical standpoint, 100% agree with the RST approach from a swing point of view. And again, Craig, you know how I feel about you. I mean, you're just a top-notch human being, and that's why I love you so much, and I just want you to be my coach forever. And but I do need GolfTec's help, I really do, because I mean, if you were here, it would be a different story, but you're not. And I've been with RST for over 2 years, and with you over a year, and I'm still having problems and not really progressing to the extent that I'd like to. But, I will say that things are slowly coming, and where GolfTec is helping me is that, it's giving me the feedback. So I'm in the practice sessions, I make a shot, I can just see everything. And then, after the shot is made, I compare things, and I'm not necessarily caring about how I hit the shot, but I'm actually measuring. And the first thing, from a technical standpoint that I can say, and I don't think you'd argue with me, is that my whole life I've been swinging like this. And even when I come through, okay, let's say I stay straight, and when I work on the transition, which is what I'm working on now, what my tendency is to stand up and do the early extension. So by the time I get to impact, I'm at this point, and then my arms come through chicken winging, and there's no release, and I haven't finished, like I'm not even pointing to the target at my finish. So at the finish, I need to be more here, way up fully on the left side, with my hips 45 degrees, but my shoulders, yes, pointing at the target. Craig, I agree with everything that RST says, but the problem is, it's taken me too long to get a feel. And the measurements and getting that feedback from GolfTec is giving me the feel to say that, okay, like the first thing they did is they had sensors, and they said, to correct this business, look at my shoulder tilt. Well, my shoulder tilt's almost at 0. It needs to be like that. Now, regardless of how the freaking hell I get there, it needs to be like that, because I know for a fact, to play better, consistent golf, that this torso that drives the swing needs to maintain its spine angle at least till impact, with the right shoulder back and the weight here. And Craig, I've been starting to work on, like say, just even chipping. I realize that my swing angle is wrong. I'll chip and I'll come back, but then my right shoulder wants to go first as opposed to the lower body, and I come over the top. So right away, my club is here, but the first move, if I do that, brings it over here, and now the only way I have to go is out this way. Well, that's not on the path. So I was just chipping the other day and putting all my weight on my lead side, okay, and that's even a drill that I'm doing, which gives me more room to come back on the inside. And if I don't do that, or just use arms, but turn, well, that's a great position, but now I want to go that way. So in other words, I'm trying to hit the ball to the right of the target. And when I do that with the weight here, keeping this right shoulder back, wow, all the weight's here, I'm swinging this way. or 45 degrees to the right of the target. I'm going to get to some point where the arms have nowhere to go, and this is what you want. So you want the arms to pass the body. So that for the first time, RST, you say it's a requirement of RST that the arms pass the body at impact. So, but then, how do I get to the finished position? Is it the momentum that takes me with the hips at 45 and the shoulders now completely facing the target? So these are all the things that I'm working on, and it's I feel like I'm making progress and I'm getting there, but I do need GolfTec's help. And I can also say, Craig, those guys, they're young kids, right? And they send them on, who knows, a 2-week-long course to, follow the GolfTec model or process, and that they follow. But these, by no means are these people anywhere near or close to the level of knowledge and ability as you are. I'm not even remotely close, and I know that because I've had enough instructors in the past. But it does give me the measurements, the feedback, the technology is finally transferring for me into a feel. And that feel is the only way I think that I'm going to start to be able to bring this stuff to the golf course on a regular basis. I can no longer take this business of shooting 82 or 81 one day and then 94 the next. It drives me insane, Craig. It just is, I can't accept it. So I'm looking for consistency, and all I'm saying is with the way we were going, I was just too long on this backswing, and I know that you're a perfectionist just like me. I want to get to here. There, everything is turned, all right? The hips, the upper body has turned all together against the resistance of the lower body. I need to keep this knee flexed because the minute I straighten it, I come out. So I just want to keep this knee flexed. Sometimes I'll take this guy back, and I'll not put arms only, I'll not rotate the wrist, I'll just take this upper torso with a triangle that's created by the arms, flex this knee, and rotate around it. Now when I get to there, the only thing I want is, as that business with the arms, is to get there and go there. Now that's it. That's as far as I can go. There's no point for me now to do this because it just kills me. I lose all the coil that I've created against my bent knee and my hip with my upper torso. And the minute I do this, there's no way that I can be consistent. But also what I found as I go back from there, my tendency is to stand up and then just swing with the arms. And this is where I'm at now with GolfTec and with you. It's to learn that, as you said in your swing review, that the pull. So the upper half does this, and then the lower half is the chuck, if you will. I don't know if you can see this. That pulls it. And I'm really working hard on that. But what I like is drills, and I keep bugging you for drills. Things that mimic the golf swing, whatever it can be. Side steps and twist. This is one that really helped me on the backswing. Maybe the forward step and the twist, the forward step. Or I've been swinging just with all the weight on one leg to try and learn the feeling of getting this hip out, okay? And that helps me to turn and swing out to the right and then let it go. All these things, like I don't know if I'm explaining and I'm rambling on forever, but this is my 7th take on this video and I'm not gonna cut it again. So I hope you can put up with my rambling to try and understand where I'm coming from and what I need. So yeah, you're gonna tell me that when I come back, my arms aren't getting high enough, but we gotta forget that for now, Craig. Just trust me, okay? Because what I'm doing, these arms are pulling this out of position and trying to get perfection. So I'm doing this, and then this move that should be just so slight is pulling me out. So we gotta just forget about this for now. Let's go through the proper process until I get to the finish and I'm playing some golf. And then we can fix these little things. But at some point, Craig, I'm 59, we got to get to the end of the show and assess where we're at, because we're still talking about now so now if I get all this weight here and I trail this instep and I get all this hip moving properly and turning me through, let's get all that. Then we can talk about the release, if I'm doing that correctly, and then the finish, all these things. But let's at some point get through it all and then fine tune these little things. That's all I'm saying, okay? And the final thing I want to say is that, I always, if you think that I just take whatever you say to gospel, no, I'm not a monkey. I'm a very intelligent man. And I think with my own brain. And when you say in your swing review, Andrew, you have to ask questions. And if the people can't answer them, then, and I agree with you 1,000%. That's how I live my life, okay? When you tell me something, I could go on Google or YouTube and search the whole world for anything. Right now I'm searching on drills to initiate this turn with my hips while holding the upper. I mean, I research everything to death. Maybe that's my problem. And it's the same thing with this GolfTec younger guy coach that I have now. I'm just trying to get through his process. I critique everything that he has to say just as I would with anything else. And I just want to get through their program, compare it to your program. RST is where I want to believe. There hasn't been any kind of major conflict so far. If there were, I'm sticking with RST and I'm sticking with you, and that's the way it is. So the last word I want to say, sorry for rambling on, that's the way I am. I just need to get all my thoughts out. The last thing is, you want, from your last swing review, you want it just with the one club, all this thing. I'm happy to do that over the weekend, but if on the other hand that you'd like to see a swing and see where I'm at, let me know. I can do that as well. But if you could just, look at this, kind of assess where I'm at. Don't worry about how high my arms are. What I'm working on right now is trying to maintain some, not to do this at impact, not to come with the arms. So I've turned here, but now it's just arms. I'm trying to get this weight here. I'm trying to come back, hold everything against the coiled right leg, and then hold the shoulders, just leave them. When I do that, because I get on the golf course and you just go back to your old ways, despite how smart you are and how hard you try. And I found myself the other day just swinging nicely, but then, most of that initial movement coming down comes from the top, and the right shoulder goes over it. The minute I start focusing on getting that right shoulder, even if it's just drills from an impact position to keep this right shoulder back and swing out to the right. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Watch this video, let me know what kind of a swing review you would like, and I'll have it to you by Monday evening at the latest. Thank you, Craig. You're the best.